questions. So my first question is, when did you start dancing, and when did you realize you wanted to do it professionally?
I started dancing when I was old, and when I was, I think around 6, I had my first talent show, and I asked my teacher to solo for me so I can perform it, and I did it, and I had so much fun doing it. And then I went to my first competition, and I got a standing ovation. And then when I was done, I was only 6, and everybody was coming up to me, and they were like, "Oh, like you did so good. How old are you?" And then after that, I guess it went on from there. So yeah.
That's awesome. And who are your biggest dance inspirations?
I have so many. My dance studio instructors, dance teachers that they teach classes. I look up to everybody, but Trisha, Miranda will always be, like my big inspiration. But I've been taking like a lot of classes. I think I've said it a couple times, but like throughout those classes, I've looked up to so many more of them, and I've seen so many more. So it's just incredible. But I don't have any certain one at the moment.
Okay. And what's something that you learned working with Trisha Miranda so many times?
Well, I guess I could say better hip hop, because I've always been like a contemporary, because like I said, that was like my first solo, and my first solo was contemporary. So I've always been like a contemporary girl. But she's definitely helped me with like musicality and grooving into like different stuff, and she got me out of my comfort zone. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff that she's taught me, and she's amazing. So yeah.
Of course, she's a legend. How did the opportunity to perform with Nicki Minaj come about for the BBMAs, I think?
Yeah. I was so small. And if it was me like right now there, I would be like starstruck to the point where I wouldn't even be able to dance correct. But I was so young. Oh, it's Nicki Minaj. But like the practices, everything, like the rehearsals that we had, they were so incredible. That's where I met a good friend. Her name is Lily and Minnie, and they're incredible dancers. They were the two that did it with me. And that experience was incredible. I got to meet Jason Derulo, Nicki Minaj, and Trisha was the choreographer. So it was like I was back to what I was doing. But it was so incredible. I would love to do that right now. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I loved your costume, by the way. It was iconic
Thank
for that
you.
one. Thank you. What was it like being a part of Lip Sync Battle Shorties? And did you have a say on like how you wanted the stage to look like, what you were gonna wear, and the song that you danced to?
Yeah, Lip Sync Battle the best experience as well. I say that literally everything that I had in mind came onto the stage. Like I was at a convention, and they said that I had to like ask Camila Cabello if I can use her song for the Lip Sync Battle Shorties, and I had to send her a video. And then when I got there, I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know, like this is nerve-wracking. But when I got there, everybody was so sweet and so kind, helped me a lot. Like everything that I wanted to stage. I did my signature hairstyle, which is a half up, half down. And the costume, I loved it. It was so beautiful. But that was an incredible experience. Everybody was so sweet, so nice. And like I said, everything that was in my head literally came onto the stage. So it was very good.
That's awesome. And you definitely worked well with the camera. Like, I know you started at a young age, but you knew what you were doing.
Nick Cannon and JoJo Siwa. I'm such big fans of both of them, and I was starstruck when I saw them. I was like, oh, my Lord. But yeah, back to you.
That's so cool. And you also performed at the Arties. What was that experience like, and what was it like working with Nappy Taps?
Oh, that was amazing. I got to dance with AJ, Gabe, Big Will, a bunch of other big people that I love dancing with. That was also amazing. The way that like we rehearsed and the way that everybody just came together. We literally learned like some of the parts in less than like an hour. And I was like, oh my goodness, like how did they teach so well and make a choreo so good in less than an hour? But that was just so good. The costumes were great. We got to film like stuff that I didn't even know that you were possible to film. And like the after party, it was so much fun. Everybody came together and they were dancing. And it wasn't so like, oh, camera's on you. It was more of like everybody dance. So I would say that was amazing too.
That's awesome. And I know you're a convention like fanatic as well. So do you have a favorite convention or intensive? Mine is probably jump dance, but I'm just biased because I love Misha Gabriel's classes. But which one is yours?
I do love, but I would either Radic or Intrigue. One of those. I'm actually going to Intrigue next week. But yeah, I love doing conventions. There's so much you get to just take classes and have a bunch of fun while doing them, and audition. That's my favorite part. I don't know why. I love to audition. But I would definitely say it's those two.
And you were also part of the Little Mermaid Live. What was the audition process like for that?
I actually don't remember. Either I think it was that I just got called for it, or I probably like submitted like a dance video. But when I did get it, I got told that I was gonna be in it. I loved Little Mermaid, so I was like, oh my god. But it was incredible. We did school. And then when it came to like the day before, like we were actually going to start filming and stuff, I was so nervous that I didn't even go to sleep till 4 a.m. And then the next day, oh my goodness, am I going to be okay on stage? Am I going to be tired? But when it came to like the actual like live, it was so great. And the way that like everything we saw before, like it got to filming and it was live to everybody, it was insane on like how they did like the props and how they like switched things around in less than a second. So that was incredible. But the audition process, I feel like it was amazing. But when I got it, I definitely was so happy.
That's cool to hear. Do you remember how much rehearsals went into that, or like what you did leading up to the actual live performance?
So a lot of rehearsals, I'm pretty sure. So much that I can't even remember. But it was like a month long. Oh my goodness. But yeah.
That's crazy. What was it like meeting the cast? Because I know John Stamos was in it, and like a bunch.
Yeah. Tifa, John Stamos, and a bunch of people. They were so sweet and so kind. And John Stamos took a picture with us. He was joking around with us, and Queen Latifah was so sweet too. Like I said, I always get starstruck when I see people. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's them right there in front of me. But that was amazing as well. I didn't think I would ever get a chance to even meet like famous people. So when it came to that fact that I met John Stamos and Queen Latifah, I was mind blown.
What is your choreography process like? Because I know you also do choreography.
Yeah. My like choreography that I like, it was filmed and stuff, was my concept video Bbmas. That was I literally I feel like I can't personally choreograph anything if it's not last minute, because I'm not like on top of myself and I'm like, okay, whatever, like I'll be able to do it then. But then when it came to like 2 days before, I was like, oh my goodness, I can do choreo. But then when my friends came together and they learned it with like I taught them and they learned it, they did so good, and I loved the way the video came out. So I do feel like what helps me, my mom actually said to do this, and I was like, okay, let me try it. My mom knows nothing about dance. Let me try it. I had to film myself freestyle, and then whatever I saw that like I liked that good like went with the beat, like I could put it in there and then add more stuff. And I was like, wait, this actually kind of works. So yeah.
That's really smart. So you work well under pressure if you like can come up with choreography that fast. Yeah. When you do the concept videos, do you get like, obviously you hear the song, but are the moves inspired by the song first, or do you kind of do it based on the concept video first? Like which idea comes first?
Well, I guess for me, the video I put like the concept. It would be like the moves transitioning into like another move, like with the actual like concept, I guess. But I definitely beat more than anything else. And then like lyrics as well. If it says like cup, I'd be like cup. But
Right.
I do feel like I listen to everything and like just mix it together, I guess. It's like with the word and a transition. I don't know. My head goes crazy when I'm thinking of choreo, but I do think I listen to the beat more. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And now I'm going to talk about In the Heights because that's insane. Like I watched it twice last week already. So what was the audition process for that like?
That was the most intimidating like audition I've ever been to. There was over, I'm pretty sure, like 100 kids, adults, and well, not like adults, but like teenagers, and there was adults, but over 100 people, and I was the smallest, almost the smallest person there. So I was quite intimidated, but the one thing I can say that helped me, that now I can think about it for like all of my auditions, is that when I got called out with Lucas, I'm pretty sure Bella, and a couple more people, and we got post-its because they were using post-its to write down like who they wanted to like see again, or who they wanted in the movie like final. And when our group went out, the choreographer, his name is Chris, he threw the post-its at us, and he was like in shock on how like we put the dance together. And at that moment, I was like, either he's very upset or he just loved the way we did that. And he gave us like a big speech saying that to keep doing what we're doing, that we're incredible, and that to be friends forever. And that hit me to the point where I was like, oh my Lord. So from that day on, I was like, auditions were, I would just think of that and be like, imagine that happening again, so. But I loved it. I'm so happy that I'm sure everybody go watches it. It's already out on HBO Max and in the theaters.
Watching it in theaters was crazy because I watched it both ways, but the theaters was just insane, and I was like out of my seat. Like every dance number, I was like, let's go. Like I was the only one like yelling out loud, so it was really funny. But what scene did you rehearse the most for?
I would say Audio. That one we rehearsed a lot, and I was like, oh my goodness. And the reason we rehearsed it so much was because it was such a big part with a lot of people in it, and it's representing the different like cultures of Hispanic, and it was like Dominican, Puerto Rico, and other stuff here. So it was like when we were at rehearsal, they were like, oh, if you're Dominican, go to this side. If you're Puerto Rican, go to this side. And that way they knew like where everybody went. But either way, no matter if you're part of a different culture, everybody just came together, and it was insane. But I would definitely say that's the one that we took the longest on, because we had like to transition the camera and go this way and go that way around like the whole thing. But yeah, we definitely rehearsed that one a lot.
I think I saw like a clip where everybody had rapped. Like I think John had rapped, and everybody was dancing and like yelling out. That was so cool. Like every time I see that clip, I get like chills.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah. What was your favorite behind the scenes moment that we might not know about?
That is a tricky. I would say when we were doing Carnival, Lynn started crying. He was in shock on the way that like he saw everybody dancing and everybody singing and everybody doing this and that, and he was, and I was like, is that Lin-Manuel crying? And he was like, I'm so proud of you guys, like you guys did incredible, this is going to be amazing. And it was just that like almost touched my heart. Well, it did touch my heart, but I was about to start crying with him. But that's the behind the scenes probably no one knew about, but yeah.
That's cool, and it's really cool to hear because he did start writing this when he was in college. So it's like must have been crazy to see like what he wrote be like created and like see it in front of him. Yeah, that's crazy. What was it like working with Leslie and Anthony?
Ooh, Leslie. It was like a hot dog scene, and we had to come up and hug her. And that hug didn't even feel like it was like gonna be placed on camera. It felt like a natural hug, just going to hug like the best person in the world. So that obviously was like an amazing memory that I have with Leslie and the rest of everybody else. But they were so incredible, like to see them singing. During Carnival, we saw Anthony, like he was like, oh, like raise our flags and stuff. And we sing like side incredible. And Benny and Sunny and Leslie, which is Nina in the movie, and Usnavi, and they were all like the same characters, not even like in the movie. So like their outside characters are the same. Like Anthony, he's so sweet, kind, genuine in the movie and outside of the movie. And same goes for all of them. So that was incredible, like working with them and stuff. And yeah.
Nice. And I think it's like one of those movies that like everybody's incredible. Like not well, like there's standout performances, but like Daphne, Dasha, like everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
So what was it like stepping on set for the first time? Because I know you did like, you know, live performances, but what was it like stepping on set, like a film set?
I was very, as like me in my own self, I would think I was nervous, but I was so excited because I knew like rehearsals that this is going to be like an incredible movie that is going to live on for the rest of my life. So I was nervous. I can say I was definitely, but I'm more excited than nervous.
So what was it like working with Christopher Scott, as you mentioned, and also Eddie Torres for the Carnival scene?
Eddie taught us salsa. I've never knew how to do like any of those, like really. So I was quite nervous actually, but we made jokes with it and it was just so incredible. And Chris has amazing choreography, and the way he told us his amazing kind words, it was incredible. I felt like I was gonna cry because he's always telling me to keep on dancing, to keep on doing me, because I'm gonna go somewhere in life. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But he tells everybody that. So I'm like, he's an amazing person with a kind heart. And it was incredible working with them, definitely. I would love to do it again and again and again. But hopefully in the future, we'll work again together.
Nice. And what was it like working with Lynn? You mentioned it a little bit, but like, what was it like having his presence there as you guys were filming?
Oh my goodness. Actually the first time I actually got like very, very close to him, which like physically was I had my scene. I don't know if anybody saw it, but it was like when I'm in like a red thing, the table. When I got called for that scene, we were waiting in like a theater and he was coming up the steps and I was like, oh my goodness, Lin-Manuel's here. Oh my goodness. I was like, can I have a picture with you? And I actually the other day, you know, when like you swipe on your phone and it's like showing like a memory from like your camera roll. I saw
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna cry here. But that was the first time I actually got like very, very close to him, and I was amazed. And then seeing him like see us doing something that he made, it was like I felt like I had to do it, like incredible, amazing. But he was so like, oh, you guys killed that. Even if you messed up, you killed it. And it was amazing working with him as well. So yeah.
Nice. And you guys definitely did it justice. So, do you remember the day you talked about filming when you're home? Do you remember the day you filmed In the Heights, the opening number? What was that like? And was it really challenging?
That was really wasn't like it was the opening number, but it wasn't like the first thing we filmed. But when it was when we were filming that, I was nervous. I don't know why I was so nervous, but the big cameras around us, and it was like, there's a camera next to me. Hello. But when we were filming that, it was John was there, his kid was there, his wife was there, and it was like everybody's watching us, but it was everybody together dancing, so it felt even better with everybody there. And at the end of like that whole scene, Anthony like came in and he started dancing with us, and at the end of that, like as soon as like they cut, everybody was like, hey, and like Anthony was dancing, and it was incredible filming that, because that was like the big opening number. I mean, I had to do it like amazing, but even after that we were like vibing and having a bunch of fun. So yeah.
Cool. And what was the first scene you filmed for the movie?
I think it was the hopscotch scene. I'm pretty sure it's the hopscotch scene. I'm not very sure, but I'm almost positive it was that. Then it was Carnival, or no, then it was the opening, then it was Carnival, and the rest of them were after that, but I'm pretty sure hopscotch scene was the first one that we filmed.
And what was it like to see, like, were you there for like the whole filming of it for the when you're home scene?
Yeah, I was at, and seeing incredible. It's crazy to think that like a movie that was on the big screen, I was behind watching, and I was doing it. So that was insane. And I was like there was like 70,000 cameras, and when I'm watching the movie, I don't even see not one camera, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So technology is crazy, but seeing that was definitely like, very incredible in the way that Leslie did that part, and she's incredible. So I loved watching that. But yeah, I was there for that part. So yeah.
Now that I think of it, you're like part of all the epic numbers, like 96,000. And
oh.
Yeah. And I saw your scene, like you're dancing on top of the table, and I was like, yes, like let's go off. It was so great. You know, the part where like all the dancers jump in the pool, I was like losing it because just so great, so amazing.
Like together, like it was like incredible seeing everything come together.
Awesome. So how did the opportunity come about for you to perform at the press party? Like back in, I think it was December?
Yeah. The movie was going to come out already and stuff, but COVID hit us. So unfortunately, it's not coming. But that was, I met so many people there. I got to take pictures with everybody. Even though like I've worked with them, I'm still like, oh my goodness, like they're in a movie and like I just met them. But it was so much fun dancing again with everybody who I got to dance with in a movie. So yeah, that was incredible. I love dancing.
That's cool. What was the biggest lesson you learned from filming the movie?
I could say don't be nervous. 'Cause I feel like you can tell because I could tell during the carnival part at like the end of it, I was so nervous because everybody, like the big camera was just like right there. So I was quite nervous and I could kind of see it on my face, but right now I'd be like, hey, so happy. So I would say, like, don't be nervous. Do you? You got it. You're on a movie. And yeah.
Awesome. So definitely enjoy the ride more and kind of let go.
Yeah.
How was premiere week for you? Like finally getting to see everything you worked on, like I think in 2019, like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. I was my outfit for almost like I was excited. And that weekend was so busy and everything I watched it at least like 4 times. And still to this day I say that I can watch it again and again and again. But that weekend was amazing. The second time we watched it, the part where like everybody was screaming and like everybody was dancing and stuff, Anthony came in like the front of like the theater and he was like, hey, and like screaming and everything. So that was amazing. And then we got to take pictures again and reunite with everybody because we haven't seen them in almost like 2 years. So yeah.
That's cool. What was it like seeing, the posters in Times Square and then seeing yourself in the Times Square like trailer?
I was like, is that me? Like I'm up there in Times Square. Yeah. I take a bunch of classes in Square in like New York, and New York is such like a big place, like a known place. And it's crazy to think that people like just walk by and see my face and see a movie that is incredible. And I was actually passing by one of them and I saw myself dancing and I was like, that's me on a Times Square billboard. So I would simply if I wasn't in the movie and I just saw myself like on a billboard, I would have passed out. But since I'm in the movie and I got the amazing chance to be in it and I saw myself on a billboard in New York, like Times Square, it was incredible.
So what's your favorite scene from the movie? And it could be one you're in or one you weren't in, just in general.
Me and my sister actually specifically all the time. It's the club. The way that like they were dancing, I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even like know that was like a scene. And when I saw that, I was like just clapping away. And my sister loves that. She's only 5 and she loves that too. But that was definitely my favorite scene. I love that.
That's awesome to hear. So what was your favorite scene of film?
I would say it was the hopscotch scene because when we were doing it, it started raining and everybody was like hugging and like everybody. It was so. I was like, oh my. And everybody like put on their ponchos and stuff, but we were all hugging like when the rain stopped and stuff. And then when we got like back to filming it after like the rain stopped, we got to do the hugging Leslie part after like whatever happened to her and stuff. So that was definitely my favorite scene and filming. So yeah.
What do you want people to take away from watching this movie? Like what message?
Okay. Be very supportive and kind and caring, because the way that everybody was so supportive during like this movie, and it doesn't even only have to be in a movie, but it has to be no matter what you're doing in life, you have to be supportive and to respect your elders, because when Abuela passed away, unfortunately, I was so sad and I was like I have to like, obviously I do, but you have to like respect everybody that's around you and who cares about you. And that was basically about the movie, because Nina's dad was very supportive about her in college, but she unfortunately dropped out. So I guess I would say out of this movie taken out, I would say to be supportive. That's my main word.
What's your advice for dancers who would want to do TV or film?
I would say to afraid to go out there and prove that you are the best dancer or actor or whatever you are out there, because putting yourself out there will help you eventually. And I would also say to care, but to not care. Care about what you're doing and care about what like you're showing up for, but don't care about anybody who's downing you inside their head and saying, oh, this girl sucks or this boy sucks and this and that. So care, but don't care. But definitely do what you love. If I was saying that, like, do what you want, do that in life, then you do you, and don't let anybody stop you from what you're doing.
What are you working on next, or what is your dream project? I mean, you can say a movie. If you can't say what it is, you can just say a general thing.
I do have a new movie, Dancer, 2 lines. I'm not allowed to say too much, but I do have an upcoming movie out. But I think being a background dancer for a big celebrity, I look up to every celebrity, like singers and stuff, obviously. But yeah, I would definitely say that's what I'm looking forward to. I really want to do that. So yeah.
That's so cool. Thank you so much, Hailey, for giving me your time. And thank you so much for being on Val's Pop Culture Talk.
Thank you.